Welcome to part 2 of the training process for the new Portal 4.0. In this section, we're going to cover the main landing page with your applications, processing an application, and getting DocuSign completed. Now, as you're going to see, the login page here, where you land is going to look a lot different than the previous models. You're going to have a lot more information. Because this isn't a sandbox, you're going to see that I have different types of accounts for different retailers. In your store, it'll be specific to retail in home, retail in store, or home improvement in home. Those are things you will not have to worry about. It'll automatically put in the correct loan type for you. You will also see a decision status. As before, it'll be coming in as requested, switching to pending, and then obviously approved or declined. What will be new is the funding status. As you can see, no funding status to start. Once all the documents have been received, it will update. And then eventually, once it's processed and the ACHs are sent, you'll see that change into funded. So you will now be able to track all your applications and their funding status right on the portal. Also, you'll be able to see that we do hold up to 30 at a time on one page, which is going to be a great improvement over having just 2 weeks of applications being able to be displayed. As you can see, this goes back to May of 2024 when we were testing. So good news on that front. Be much easier to review and follow your applications through the process. First thing that we like to do is auto refresh. Make sure you change that over here to 30 seconds. This way it's going to update that page for you more rapidly and keep you up to date. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a general retail account. So we're going to pick Connie down here and open up the contract for Miss Connie. Now, as you can see here, the most important areas of this next page is decision, contract prep, and review. These are the 3 tabs that we'll be reviewing. Now, as before, the structure of the process doesn't change from the old system to the new system. The steps are still there. They are still the same. We've just added a lot of new enhancements to make this super easy and more enjoyable experience. At the top, as before, you're going to be able to view your stipulations, and it's going to be a little bit more predominant than it was in the past. You'll be able to see where your application and your contract are, whether they've been satisfied by signing, or whether or not you've uploaded your bill of sale for this customer as well. Again, the bill of sale, just like when you emailed it in, that is our trigger to start your payment process after the merchandise has been delivered. So you obviously want to upload that at the very end when everything has been completed. So we have a request in here for $5,000, and we have a decision for $5,000. Now you see there's a $17.85. If you are not in the state of Florida, this would not apply to you. This is the Florida stamp tax for loan documents. We automatically add that in, but your base approval would stay at $5,000. If you're not in the state of Florida, you'll just see that $5,000 request approved all the way across. Under the subtabs, the only real important note is notes. If underwriting did have a question, you will see that 0 up here changed to a 1 in either one of those boxes, and you'll be able to hit notes and come over here and view the notes from underwriting. Under actions, you'll be able to open that note, see if there was any comments from the underwriter, and then easily reply just like before. In this case, though, it is going to send it directly to the underwriter. Now, this does have a lot of different comments in here for different parts of the company. You just want to focus on your part, the dealer notes, and add your comments in here, and then you can send this out. So we'll come back to where we started, decision, the summary page. We requested 5, we got 5. So we're going to move over here to contract prep, just like we did in the old system. Now, this is a demo, and as you can see, I've done quite a few demos. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a brand new one here and hit create new. So it's going to bring up a new page here. On the left-hand side, the first thing that we want to focus in on is making sure that we have the accurate out-the-door price. So we have an approval for $5,000. Let's just say with delivery, taxes, or any other fees that may be included, it comes out to $49.80. If there is any down payments, there is a section here where you can list your down payment as well. We'll leave that as 0 at this time. And whether it's a golf cart, furniture, whatever the case is that you're selling, you're just going to update that description, any applicable serial number that's required to go along with that product. And then you want to make sure your price matches at the top. Now, the reason that we have you enter these things individually is mostly going to be for trailer sales and for golf cart sales. If you're selling two different trailers or two different golf carts that have different serial numbers, you can add a secondary trade here so that you can list both serial numbers for both purchases. But if it's a group sale of furniture, love seat, things like that, you can just put a description in of furniture to encompass the entire purchase. It's only if we're requiring a serial number that you would need to break it down into separate line items. So we'll move over here to the right-hand side. Well, as before, your delivery date and your contract date can remain the same. If that delivery date is going to be well into the future, a couple weeks or a month from now, then you would want to make the best guess you could. But within a week, just a few days, they can match the contract date. That is not a problem. As you're aware, the customer doesn't have to make a payment until 30 days after the contract is purchased in by us. All right, so you can see that we have all the information that we plugged in over there is now transferred over to the right. You can select your max term that's going to be available for the amount that you're financing. So 60 months is the max. Special terms would be your deferred payment process. In this current example, I don't have ability to add deferred, but we do still have the same as cash listed here. So you can obviously select what you need there. So once we come down and hit the save and validate button, it's going to make sure that we've entered all the information correctly. And you should see a green box pop up here. If it does come up red, it'll give you an explanation of what was wrong or what needs to be changed. So we see we have a payment of $126.91 for your customer. That's over a 60-month term on $5,000. So a very low payment as usual. Now, unfortunately, it's too easy to get this signed. There'll be no more text messaging. There'll be straight email verifications to get your contract signed, and we have moved over to DocuSign. So once you do hit that Documents button, it's going to bring up the two contracts that you are using. You do have the option of remote signing and in-office signing. If you do select in-office, like before, they just sign right on your computer, and then you do your signing portion as well. And then, of course, you're going to come in and put your name and your email address as the dealer. And you got your customer's name and the customer's email address listed here. And you're simply going to send a DocuSign. Just takes a few seconds for it to upload. And unlike before, it's automatically going to send that email to your customer to start their signing process. Makes it super easy. Please bear with me here for just a moment. I'm going to take and pull that up so that we can get a glimpse of exactly how it's going to look for your customer when it comes over. So it is going to come over for DocuSign, and it's going to provide them a validation code. They can either handwrite that down or they can copy and paste it. So when they hit resume signing, it's going to ask them to plug in that validation code. Again, no more text messaging is necessary. And they'll proceed with the process of signing the documents. Again, there'll be a guide, start button. Anybody that's been familiar with DocuSign before, it is a super easy process. Once everything is finished, simply click that finish button. And it's going to take them out to the standard landing page for DocuSign. So we can close that window out. And as before, you can track where they are in the status of the signing. It just takes a few seconds for that to update. So we'll pause here while that takes place. One important variable now for this new system, if you do want it to update quicker, there is an F5 feature. So if you tap F5 on your keyboard, it will refresh that page and speed up that completed status process. Now, once your customer has signed, you will automatically get an email for your signing process. That is a change. In the past, you could have signed, and then send everything out to your customer, and everything would be done once they've signed. Having it done this way does keep you in the loop of when your customer has completed the process, so that you know that they have signed all the documents that they've needed. Then you simply come in to your email, do your signing portion, and then that will update to complete it. So great enhancements, making this again super easy. Once you enter your customer, you're focused just basically on these two tabs, and that'll walk you through the signing process. We are going to start part 3 in just a few minutes, and that'll be in a separate attachment. That's going to cover how to attach your bill of sale, how to check your stipulations, and some other upgrades that we have in the system to wrap up the training.